Hey folks, what's going on? I'm Scott. That's Ryan. This is Tales from the Film Set. And he was waving like, no, not me. And this is Tales from the Film Set. And right now, Davion and Rob are basically close. Davion's been a couple minutes late. Rob is asking if he needs video. I'm going to say probably not in this case. So you know what? Let's do it that way. Rob, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. How can you guys hear us?
Yes. All right. So hey, look at that. All four showed up just like that. So basically, Rob is basically just a glowing orb at this point. So
he has evolved beyond us.
He has, yes.
Out of the physical realm and into the physiological.
And Dave was like, screw it, I'm out.
Dave's probably going to do that for a couple more times.
I'm going to let it sit until I know for sure it's going to be okay.
Actually, this whole like ethereal phasing in, phasing out, so it will play into things later on when we get to our thrills and chills for this week.
Yes. But first, we're going to be talking a little bit about, we got to basically do a little bit of November Cash or Trash. We're going to talk about the Napoleon movie. We're going to talk about the Marvels movie at $273 million, arguing possibly $800 million to just simply break even after marketing and advertising. Will it succeed? Cover that. We'll talk about thrills or chills, like you said. We got a few other things in the pipeline, too. Hey, can you see? There we go. Yes. Okay, cool. So, first things first, we talked about this just prior. There was some talk that that Davion and possibly Rob might be late, so we decided to pad the runtime a little bit and talk about the Hollywood strike for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then they promptly showed up. So we are now
at. They probably have some insight to it too. It's the simple fact that while it is going on, the big name players have now inserted themselves into the talks, trying to cause a resolution, and I mean, I want to feel like, again, not being a SAG-AFTRA person, but anything George Clooney does, like, I'm cool with. You know, George Clooney may be the worst Batman, but he is one of the best.
I don't know. I might go to Lewis Hamilton, believe it or not. Was it? No, Robert Hamilton? I forget.
Robert Pattinson. No, Pattinson's good.
No, the original one. The guy that drove around in a Studebaker.
Oh, okay, the black and white one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. With the really big ears.
Yes, the one where he fought those evil Japanese people during World War II.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's outdated.
But anyway, go ahead, sir.
No, I was going to let you do it because, I mean, you know more about like what he actually has proposed in order to end the strike, which has not exactly been accepted, I believe. So the strike continues. But what was it exactly that George Clooney was offering? I heard it was like big amounts of money for everybody.
Basically, George Clooney, Scarlett Johansson, Ben Affleck, and a few other pretty much A or B list at best, or at worst, talent had offered to put in, remove the cap that exists on SAG dues for like the really, really higher echelon, which would have amounted to about $150 million. That would have been able to offset some of the funds issues that are going on the, shall we say, lower end of the spectrum. So
you saying that there's a cap for the higher paid actors? Like there's only like so much they can give?
They're capped by, so if you make $150 million in the year, you are capped at like $5 million for your dues.
That's it?
Basically, yeah, no, it's a trash system. So in my case, personally, my bill literally came in today. And by the end of the month, I owe $293, which is less than it normally would be, but also kind of a bit of a hit because none of us are working right now. So the issue that exists on our side of the thing,
out of no income that you've gotten.
Yes, exactly. From the current part-time job that I have, doling out random food to random people in random places. So my $85 for 5-hour shift that I've got, which admittedly is a part-time job, is pretty darn good. Let's not argue it. It takes after taxes about 4 of those days to cover my union dues for the union that basically right now I have no affiliate. I'm not making any money from.
And they never
would alleviate that.
And my question is, they never really said, look, we're going to put a halt on the union dues. And until people start working, that's when
you can negotiate something so you can push it off like a couple of months or pay it in increments. So if you can't do we'll say $300 in one shot, you can do say $100 a month for the next few months. That is what they're willing to do now. Now, what the problem is in this particular case is that the union was like, nah, we really don't want to go with something like that. We're just going to continue the good fight until we get what we want. which right now basically means nothing for anybody.
So pretty much,
So they didn't take what they considered a handout from the big
Yes,
name act.
and they didn't like the handout. So the issue that we've got right now is the fact that most of us, like I said, none of us are working, not just on the union side, but also on the film industry side. Because funny thing, if you are a crew member and you have a union contract, it's kind of hard to film movies without actors. It kind of works a little bit better on that. So there are 60,000 crew members, part of a Facebook group that I'm tied to. I'm reading stories at this point of some of them committing suicide over the fact they literally have no money coming in. So, yeah, dead serious, 100%. I've heard some bad stories at this point, of people basically, getting their houses repossessed or cars repossessed. But yeah, the suicides are starting to kick up a little bit now too. But in the eyes of the people at the top, we have more crew people back at the house, so we can replace them pretty quick. But yeah, the sucky part is that like I said, nobody's got any money coming in, but they're still like, we're in this till the very end. We will not stop fighting.
But I'm going to say this: is it more the union saying this and not the actual actors, or is it everybody saying we're not going to take it because it's the union?
Some of the union members are like, we're in solidarity, we're fighting in this to the end. But a lot of them are just like, you know what? Just give me let me get money back in again at this point. Nobody, it's like a lot of wars where after a while, a lot of the soldiers get disillusioned and just want it over with. And I think that's where a lot of people are at now. And I kind of had a feeling that might happen the longer this lingered.
Yeah,
well,
because
it makes sense because the options that are available for actors in order to end this sort of stuff are more available than, say, like the Writers Guild. There's no big name writers that are willing to offer up millions of dollars in order to end the strike. You don't hear about them.
Yeah, it's funny. They're not. It's weird.
That money in order to provide to the union members.
Here's the weird thing: when the writers went on strike, but the union wasn't, the union fought in solidarity for the writers. Now that the writers have their contract, a lot of them are not, in fact, striking for the SAG people, which I find really interesting. Some of them are, but a far low percentage. But the issue that I had, I was talking to my buddy Rich a couple hours ago about this, is a lot. If you ever watch the footage or like the pictures, of these SAG protests in New York City, whatever it is, it is a giant, colossal, fun time get together. It is not about anger and income and all these kind of struggles that are going on. It's a chance for a bunch of people to take a bunch of happy selfies on a nice October day, while holding signs. That's literally all this thing has become at this point. There's no anger. It's like, hey, I got a picture with John Hamm. Look at that. Ooh, or Mariska or any of these people.
Yeah,
it's more about the Instagram shot. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I agree with you because it's not actually. No offense, I do see a lot of actors that's fighting when they see the celebrities that are actors that's getting paid the big bucks. It's like, oh, let me take a picture with this person. Let me take a picture with that person. Yeah. I'm like, okay, cool, nice, but
yeah, at that point you think, oh, well, this is just free publicity. This is getting the word out. This is being social on media in order to spread awareness. And it's like,
it's a casual, it's a get
together. A horror convention.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I've seen pictures of people on Facebook that I've known for years, and it's just like, okay, I recognize that one, and they're all sitting there posing like, hey, we're protesting.
The rallying. You compare that to the nurses' strikes that are going on in Jersey at some places at hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
I know EMTs and everything that see that stuff every day. The nurses still in their picket line, and they are angry. The nurses, they aren't taking selfies. They're not being happy-go-lucky. No, they are pissed.
Yes, and that's the
problem. It's a little draining when they're pissed every single day.
And
maybe
that's like I said,
people would take it a little bit more seriously.
But I mean, in this case, for the George Clooney stuff and Scarlett Johansson, I appreciate the attempt, and a lot of people did because it is a good gesture. But the union is like, no, basically, it's the people on the top that don't want to cave and don't want to. Neither side basically wants to admit that they're going to lose, so the war will drag on so they can save face, like many wars do. And the current one is the fact that SAG wants a flat rate per year per subscriber. I've heard 57 cents, or $1 for every, from say Netflix for every single subscriber to go into the union, and Hulu and Disney Plus and Peacock or whatever, and the streaming service is like, no, so that's the latest impasse. Now they're supposed to meet again tomorrow. Who knows what's going to happen there? Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. But even if it gets fixed tomorrow, there is a pretty good likelihood that at best this is going to be up and running again for like a month, because it's going to take time to rent all the equipment, get everything done. So you're going to be starting around Thanksgiving. You're going to be running for about 3 weeks until Christmas, and then the break between Christmas and New Year's happens, and then basically it all shuts down again. So a lot of us are thinking, maybe January, maybe February, all of this will be back up to 100% again. That's what I've been hearing on the inside. Yeah. I said this about the MCU at the beginning. Fanboys are just complaining that Marvel Studios didn't do the X-Men.
Funny about that, considering because of the strike, Marvel MCU, it now has time to like reorganize some of its stuff.
Right.
We do know that,
and dump Daredevil in the process.
Right. Well, yeah, Daredevil's being scrapped and redone, but now Deadpool 3 is on indefinite hiatus, and it just came through today. Mission Impossible 8 is going now to 2025. A Quiet Place Day 1, the prequel, that's going to summer 2024 and as opposed to sooner. Things are going to get pushed back, and then you're going to wonder why, the theaters are doing what they're doing, like what they are doing with Beyonce and Taylor, because the theater, the actual people that have to showcase films, are doing whatever they can because the movies that they would have been banking on, they're not coming out as soon as they would like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I said expect more of these sort of things with Drake or The Weeknd or anybody like that, Elle King, why not for her, where you're going to see a lot more of them see this as an easy cash aspect, as opposed to the $250 million blockbuster or the $273 million one that we're going to be talking about very shortly.
Dude, you know what I would love now that we're in that realm?
What's that?
Give me like a Rob Zombie theatrical film.
Dude, didn't he have one? Didn't he have a horror film?
Yeah.
Didn't he directed Halloween, right?
Horror film.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, he
Hadn't
does
seen one,
such a great stage performance. Let's get some of that on screen. Some of the more theatrical stuff. I mean, this gives musicians an opportunity and a place to put their feet where normally they never really had that. And considering the way the movie industry is now, but the music industry seems a little bit more steady, let me get some concerts that, aren't coming to Jersey.
Well, here's the thing about the music industry. If I want to listen to, okay, we'll use an example. Ninja Sex Party had a new song called Let's Save the Earth. Or better yet, Dragon Force had a song recently called Power of the Triforce, which I think I posted in the internal group.
Yes, you did.
With movies, you got to pay $20 to see it if you're going to like it. Right now, being on YouTube, it is a preview and then buy option. Because you can sit there and you can listen to the song on YouTube by the artist themselves, by Dragon Force or Ninja Sex Party or whatever it is. You can listen to it right there and then decide if you want to drop, say, the 99 cents to basically buy it outright. So that preview option gives people a lot of stability. And I think that's a lot easier for people than dropping $20, $25, on ticket before food on an unknown entity.
Right. I mean, it definitely cuts down on the gains that the artist probably gets. But you know what? Lower gains are still better than no gains whatsoever.
Exactly. And that's where, like I said,
Dan actually alluded to that when we had a discussion with him on the second time.
Yeah.
About the industry being the beast that it is.
And it was always funny because he did say, it's like, I could never have survived without YouTube. I could never actually do what I'm doing. And he's right. He's right on that.
Especially for niche artists, like I said, Rob Zombie. His kind of music is definitely not what you'd say Z100 appropriate.
Yes, they're not. It's not totally.
It's still not good.
It's not FCC compliant.
Yes,
but
not FCC compliant.
Yeah, that's.
Well, let me ask you, Dave, Rob. If there was like a band or a concert movie put out in the theaters, who would you like to see? What music artist would you like to see have their own film in theaters?
Fall Out Boys.
Ooh,
really?
Okay. I like that. They do put on a good performance.
Dragon
I
Force?
already got mine. I got Taylor Swift. No, I'm just kidding.
No, don't start with Taylor Swift again.
The first thing again, we have to have the drinking game here. Barbie or Taylor Swift. Every time we were supposed to set this up. Remember last week? Every time you
I remember.
we have to take a shot.
Hey, Ryan set himself up for that answer.
I'm
No,
sorry,
you
Rob. I
didn't
thought
go
you
with
had
it.
other enjoying, musical artists, rather than just Taylor.
no, I'm kidding. It would be nice to see a Phil Collins movie.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I would imagine with Phil Collins, it would definitely be geared towards a little bit of an older crowd.
Well, or your Disney crowd for all the Disney songs that he has done.
He has been a staple amongst Disney. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
You'll
I got
be
one.
in my
I
heart.
got one, but y'all may not know who it is.
Who's that?
Thundercat.
A Thundercats movie? Or
No. Thundercat, the musical artist.
Okay. All right.
You would probably know him best as the guy who fixed up Ming-Na Wen in Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, vaguely. I mean, most people
Yeah,
don't really
that's
remember Book of
Thundercat.
Boba Fett out of just pure dedication to not wanting to remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you think Thundercat would have like a good performance?
Yeah.
That, however, possibly Megadeth, I think that would be solid.
Well, yeah, Lincoln Park, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Well, we
Lincoln
can't
Park.
do Linkin Park anymore. Maybe if this was like 15 years ago, we could. But Static X is still around.
Yeah.
I've seen them perform once as like a precursor to let's see who it was, Power Man 5000, and then it was Static X, and then it was somebody else. I forget who the fuck it was. And then it was Rob Zombie. Um, yeah, that's the thing. Someone that's like maybe a little lesser known band, if they can put on a great performance
Mhm.
and record it, and they have like enough stage presence and they give enough like material, sure, that's easily something that can be in theaters, and that's
Well,
easily something that
oh,
people would flock to if it meant, they get a seat and they don't have to worry about standing out in the
Mhm.
rain. If they can get proper concessions and go
W.
ahead and actually enjoy watching it without being blocked by everybody standing and dancing. And you're doing Wu-Tang Clan, right?
yeah.
I was going to say, okay. All right. By the way, we have a comment here. I will be honest with you.
Oh God! Wait,
Okay, Nickelback is one of those groups that everybody likes to hate on, but I think deep down they actually like some of the music.
Exactly.
I think it's one of those things. I remember a few years ago, like 10 years ago, for a Thanksgiving Day game, they actually performed the halftime show in Detroit, and the audience was in the crowd was actually booing them on Thanksgiving at halftime. And I was like, dude, really?
They were good. I hate when people boo
look, if
somebody.
I want to fall asleep, I'm falling asleep to the turkey. I'm not falling asleep to Nickelback.
Dude,
Nickelback is not bad.
have you heard the song "Animals"? That you don't fall asleep to animals.
No,
Yeah,
but I'll nod the hell off in the Photograph.
Well, no, I'll give you that. Photograph is so overplayed. I want to barf.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good shit in there. A lot of
Yeah,
good stuff.
yeah. Look at this photo.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Foo
see, actually,
Fighters- well, they already actually had a movie.
Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Dude, the Foo Fighters actually are touring with Rick Astley. How weird is that one?
I like it.
The videos on YouTube. It's like because it's funny because they'll sit there and they'll do both albums because apparently Rick Astley is a huge fan. So Dave Grohl brought him in and they start touring together.
Dude, I'd love to see if they did like a mashup. Like, what if I said I'm not like the other one? Da, 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 da.
You know what? Actually, I went on this weird Rick Astley rabbit hole recently.
Sorry, Kyle.
And yeah, she's like, please, no, Nickelback. I went on this weird rabbit hole with Rick Astley recently. And it turns out not only is he a big fan of Foo Fighters, he's also a really big fan of AC/DC. And he plays the drums phenomenally well.
Ooh.
So he will perform AC/DC in concert while singing and also doing drums at the same time. It's really impressive.
I would like to see Kiss have a film.
Yes, thank you.
Just when you're talking about stage presence, I mean, they probably only have like maybe one more go to go, while they can still like visibly look like they're in the leather and makeup and enjoying it. So get that while you can.
Mm-hmm. Kid Rock's solid.
God,
I could get behind that.
Polarizing.
Yeah.
Kid Rock hasn't made the best name for himself. After the whole thing.
Eminem could be
Oh
decent.
yes. Yes.
Oh, I can tell you right. Like, I know we had 8 Mile and everything, but if M
Oh, God, my
actually went
lips.
ahead with a show of his, did like some vignettes or something to it, and just went ahead for it, take my money. Just take it.
You know who actually? This is going to sound weird, and you may not have heard of them. Are you familiar with the group Art of Anarchy?
Yes, I heard of them.
Yeah, Art of Anarchy. I haven't seen it yet, but I did a music video back in May with them, April and May, and I got to know them, and especially Bumblefoot, who's just a prime dude, man. And it's funny because that video and the music and everything like that, I think that would convert the screen really well. They're a little more low budget because at this point it's people from Disturbed and Guns N' Roses, like after the stuff that they were known for, so the budget isn't quite as much there. But dude, the energy still is. I would love to see that in concert.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, if you get like, if the right band wants to go ahead and do something, they absolutely War. Oh my
Yes,
God.
yes.
Yes.
Gore.
Oh yes, please.
That would be
Gore.
like the perfect like concert movie for like a Halloween season.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, Kiss would probably work there too. Misfits isn't bad either.
Misfits. Okay.
Yeah.
Misfits?
Yeah. I can go with it.
Or Power Man 3000.
Okay.
5,000.
Huh?
It's 5,000.
5,000. Yeah.
5,000.
Don't lessen the thousands, man. You know.
Yeah,
Power Man.
over 9,000.
5.
But yeah, Guar would be good. Like I said.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. Eminem would be solid. Kyle also said, by the way, no Kid Rock, so he votes no to that.
No Kid Rock. Yeah.
Dragon Force, I would always be down for. I don't care. I mean, Herman Lee, honestly, I could watch that dude's guitar.
Weekend, definitely. Weekend, yes.
Yeah, him and Sam Topman, I could watch that guitar work all day long. So
Thundercat must be a movie. I'm sorry. He is unique and weird, and it would be awesome.
You know who they probably go with on something like this? Probably like Adele or The Weeknd. You know, whoever is more
personality, it could easily turn into something like Madonna's Truth or Dare,
Mm-hmm.
where it's maybe like not as much music performances, but also like just background on the performer itself. But you have to be like a galvanizing enough personality in order for that to work. Like if it was Ariana Grande, I probably wouldn't give a damn. But if it was someone like Lady Gaga, absolutely, I want to see.
She could probably bring it too. Yeah,
kind of veil of that crazy woman's head.
But
you want to know what else I would basically put in?
What's that?
George Clinton in the
Element
Funkadelic?
Yeah. That would be an interesting theatrical concert film.
That would be the one where it's like you have to like pre-game before you.
I'm not gonna be able to get to all the comments. They're just flying in right here.
Goddamn, Kyle.
Well, yeah, that one. He mentioned that. Nolan will mention Marilyn Manson, which is a good one too.
Yeah, Marilyn Manson is a good one.
Red Hot Chili Peppers isn't bad either.
Yeah.
Return of Spinal Tap. You're not going to get Spinal. Listen, Kyle, they're going to do Return of Spinal Tap because they're rebooting everything and sequeling everything. So they will do a Spinal Tap with a newer, younger generation. If they're doing another Willy Wonka movie again, they're going to do another Spinal Tap movie. I guarantee it. So.
No. Kill Switch Engage. Kill Switch Engage. Kill Switch Engage.
You know, when you do it like that, it's like you're saying like some sort of witch's spell. Like,
yeah, JD used to work on pirate radio too. So,
but I say Kill Switch Engage.
Rob, do you have any other bands besides Taylor?
Rob said,
I only know the one song that was used ad nauseum for the Daredevil movie. Wake me up inside.
And I lost my service. Oh wait, you guys hear me?
Yes.
Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, somebody I think somebody mentioned Panic at the Disco.
No, he did. Rob did.
Okay. I chimed in.
Yeah, because a lot of their like music videos have been very thematic. Like even just I chime in with having people ever heard like a whole wedding thing, like the music video was. It's like just go with that.
You know who actually would be good on this? I just realized it.
Cool.
Have you ever seen the OK Go videos?
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine that as a full movie?
Dude, if you gave OK Go the budget,
wow. Oh my God. I saw I saw a one movie once with Ray Abruzzo, which was taken a 90-minute movie. It was in one take, literally. So it can be done, but okay, go. Those videos are just, I mean, so eye catching.
Here it goes. Here it goes.
Yeah, that's the that one in Japan with the umbrellas and everything like that. And,
They just did a new one, which was kind of like an homage to a lot of their old videos. There was like little elements scattered throughout.
okay.
Like this.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
like
they had the one on the treadmills that looked like they were skiing.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that was the first one I think I ever saw. But yeah, that was the one that Jay was talking about. But go ahead.
Now I'm going to mention two rap artists that if they do a theatrical concert, trust and believe they will sell out theaters.
Okay.
J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, I can see it.
Ooh. I mean, Kendrick, I can believe because Kendrick is probably like the most. I don't want to say divisive, but he's definitely one of the guys where it's like he is the best or he isn't the best, depending on who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
J. Cole, I like J. Cole, but I don't know.
No more holographic stuff, please. They're already holographing like Elvis and Michael Jackson. You know, it's like anything they can shoehorn anything in.
No,
that's
no.
Like Natalie Cole and that people. That's a little different.
That movie, you know.
Producer.
All eyes on me.
Yeah, we already got a Tupac movie. You know, it's like we got a Biggie movie, we got a Tupac movie, we got an NWA movie. Technically, we got an Eminem movie with 8 Mile, but I mean, those are all just like origin stories.
Movie.
Those are pretty much the plot heavy stuff. You know, I'm talking about more like you know, grandiose performance. You know, just showing like the height of grandeur and showmanship that these people can offer.
But like I said,
wait,
J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, bet you they'll sell out theaters. Besides, also Beyonce, of course.
Fair.
Well, I mean, we'll see how Beyonce does at this point, but I mean, so far for Taylor, it's gone pretty well. She beat you know, Killers of the Flower Moon this weekend, which I would say wasn't a hard thing to do, but I mean, they did go ahead and get like more tickets for Killers of the Flower Moon, but considering that movie is also like 3 hours, 45 minutes, Taylor had easier turnover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is on track to be like the #1 box office movie for October.
Well, it's at 179 million. We'll call it that. So just a slight bit behind Mutant Mayhem.
Right.
But if you look at that, I mean, 46 million international. What did Expendables do?
I pray they didn't do good.
Taylor Swift did more international than Expendables did. That's insane, dude.
She had 23.
Yeah. By the way, I'll be right back. I forgot to plug in my laptop. So be right back.
Yeah, that is not bad, man. That's not bad.
But I knew it. I already gave the review on Expendables. I stated that, and I was like,
there you go. Sorry about that.
No, I already put that out there when I saw Expendables. I was like, whatever they did, or whoever wrote their stuff didn't do a good job.
Well, yeah, you vented hardcore on Expendables, you know, and because in this case, one of the things about it is Sylvester Stallone was not supposed to originally be in it, and then B was supposed to be killed off to basically pave the way for Jason Statham to take over.
Yeah,
and then they shoehorned him. Sorry, spoilers ahead. They shoehorned him in, so they killed off, you know, Sly, and then at the end of the movie, it's like, oh, I was faking my death to lure him out. Yay! He's like,
and you're like.
Well, just out of curiosity, Expendables and Taylor aside, did anybody go see Killers of the Flower Moon this weekend?
No, I was in Arizona, so.
And because I was babysitting.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it's probably a great film, but it's also a hard movie to watch because you're basically signing away like a fourth of your day to go ahead and watch that.
That's the problem.
Like I could marathon an anime in less time than it takes to see Killers of the Flower Moon.
Which is part of the reason why people are gravitating towards, for example, sports with a fixed time limit, you know, or in your schedule, like soccer. In 2 hours of your life, you're back to normal again. You know, with a movie like this that's that long and sometimes drags out that much, people have to pee. You know, and you're stuck. So you'll just be like, you know what? I'll wait for it to come on Peacock Max or whatever, and I'll just watch it that way.
Yeah, where I can pause it when
Yeah,
necessary.
exactly. You know, or do what I do, where you watch it 15 minutes like a day for like a week.
Yeah, I forget the news outlet I saw, but someone did bring up the question with movies like these and Marvel movies and stuff like that. Should theaters bring back the intermission?
Yes.
Yes.
Also, what I think, you know what's funny? If you think about that, if they brought back the intermission, that might stave some people looking at their phone during the course of the movie as it gets later.
Right.
Because people know, okay, an hour or 2 hours in, they can sit there, they can look at their phone, they can tweet, they can do whatever they need to do to get it out of their system.
Well, I would also think that for the theater chains, it would probably help them because then you have the break to go ahead and get refills of stuff or get more stuff if you want to without having to worry about, oh, what I miss.
The only problem with intermissions, though, is that you ultimately may lose a screening or two at the back end as you take a 10-minute, 15-minute break with every screening.
Yeah,
so are the theaters really going to want to do that?
cut down like on late night stuff?
Mhm.
I don't know if they're necessarily that concerned about it. Really, it's just a matter of how quickly it's going to take for people to go ahead and turn over the theater, clean it up and get it ready for
It's a watered down. It's a watered down butter, but it's the same color.
Ew.
Well, you do remember the popcorn, bucket with the hole in the bottom, right?
Yeah.
That's margarine. But,
actually, it could be mayo. Anyway,
Lord have mercy.
Oh, lordy, Lord.
Speaking of trash in the theaters,
Oh, are we going to that now? Okay. Speaking of
after
trash,
you brought up the mayo and popcorn.
As he said, speaking of trash in the theaters, we have not predicted this is going to be trash yet.
Exactly.
By the way, that's the old poster because they actually had to go ahead and fix Iman Vellani's head. Because that is not her.
No,
she does not have that long of a jawline.
All right, you know what? I'm going to leave it up just for funsies, though.
Yeah.
Okay, this movie right here. This is the topic that I wanted to cover with Cash or Trash. This movie is a brutal $273 million and is projecting an opening box office of like 50 to 75 million. The issue in this case is the fact that we have, in a lot of ways, James Gunn said it's not Marvel, it's not comic book fatigue, but bad script fatigue. This movie has undergone so many rewrites and so many script changes at this point. Originally it was all about Brie Larson, then it wasn't. And then they tied in two other franchises here, WandaVision and also Ms. Marvel, into basically your requirement to see this movie. So you have to see three different products to understand this movie. And at $273 million plus advertising, they're looking at the requirement of about $800 million, give or take, for this puppy to break even. And given how Phase 5 has been and the lukewarm reaction to Captain Marvel and even to Brie Larson, who frankly I did like in Fast X, by the way. I saw that on the flight.
Yeah.
This movie is 100% trash, and it might be the movie that breaks the Marvel Disney back.
Well, I mean, just 2023 in general has not exactly been the kindest to the MCU. Like when you look at
that's putting it delicately, yes.
Media, that really didn't kick things off well. I would say Secret Invasion is probably the lowest rating that MCU
series.
Oh, that got killed, man.
And yeah, I know Kevin Feige just went ahead and said that like everything Marvel is connected in the multiverse. So I mean, things that were under the MCU banner, things that weren't on the MCU banner, television shows, movies, whatever have you. It's all connected. And I'm sure at some point when they get to like Kang Dynasty, I'm trying to be positive about this. I really am. I really believe in Kevin Feige.
Let him roll. Let him roll.
Their way.
Dave was laughing at me.
Why? What'd you do?
Because he's like, "Can I come back?"
Oh, because I said,
you know what it was?
Can I come
Yeah,
back?
you had a couple problems
So
with the
I'm.
connection. So I was actually looking at some other pictures for a minute.
Oh, I didn't even see.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I
Rob
don't either,
doesn't have.
man. I
Rob.
don't know what's going on.
Anyway, Ryan, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I want to believe that there is a point to all this nonsense that they've done with these movies and these shows, and maybe some of it will stay after they finally do an Avengers movie. Maybe some of it won't. But I want to believe in this film. I do, because I like Monica Rambeau. I
Mhm.
like Kamala Khan. Ms. Marvel was one of the best shows that Marvel has put out on Disney Plus. And WandaVision, has pretty much kicked things off. And that character of Spectrum has worked their way over, from WandaVision into a couple of other things.
But WandaVision had a good start, an intriguing start, but a really crap ending.
Yeah, but I mean that was also back in Phase 4. That was what the kickoff for Phase 4.
And Ms. Marvel, they decided to release that at the same time as Obi-Wan, which, not
Yeah.
great in its own right, was obviously a much, much more popular franchise with, frankly, a much more well-known and well appreciated actor in Ewan McGregor. No
It's
offense
one
to
of
her,
those
but
things where
she's an unknown.
this movie is relying solely, not even just on on the fan base. It's relying on the female fan base.
Yes.
It's
I think
probably
that's a lost
the
cause
idea
right
that you
now.
have these three female leads, and they're all interconnected, but they're all different and special. And I want to believe in that message. I want to believe in what they're trying to sell. I think the only saving grace for this film is that it is one of the shortest films in the MCU.
Yes.
So this way they can have that high turnover. You can get two of these movies in for the amount of time it would take you to watch Killers of the Flower Moon. So if that's the case and they're trying to just get that turnover in, that is probably what's going to help it.
But here's the thing. You wait 3 months and it's on Disney Plus. Now, granted, a lot of people don't use Disney Plus anymore, but it negates the purpose of going out and getting actually seeing this thing.
Right.
The problem is, after this movie, do we even know what's next? Or has everything just been put on the sideline and pushed back because of the strike and because of Disney's reorganization? This
It's
may be
all,
the last MCU movie we have for quite some time.
and I think that's a good thing because there's no anticipation anymore.
Right. So I mean that for that reason alone, people may come out because then it's like, okay, this will be the final fix.
I think it's going to be more like prove it to me this isn't going to suck first.
Yeah.
I think after Ant-Man and everything they've had up into the Disney release, I just looked it up. Disney has 33 movies being released this year across all platforms and theater. 33.
Oh,
That is a ton of content, man. But in this case, when you look at the Disney brand in all of its aspects right now, in Marvel, in Star Wars, in Indiana Jones, there is no trust factor there. When I was late to the dance, so I had from like the original Iron Man all the way through, I think two or past Doctor Strange, but and I kind of went one movie after another. When I got to Guardians of the Galaxy, I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing about the storyline, nothing about the characters. I went in completely 100% blind, but I knew it was going to be fine because everything before it had given me the trust factor to know Guardians 1 was going to be good. And you know what? It was. It lived to my expectations and my hope because
It
all the
was
stuff
true.
preceding it was good. And I think I heard something the other day. Part of the problem that's happening right now with a lot of the Disney products is they're doing what's called dangling of keys. So Ahsoka, for example, it brought in Anakin Skywalker. You dangle a little key in front of you. It's like, look, and then people get excited and lose their mind because, yay, Anakin's there. I think even that's starting to wear off. Iron Man 3, and I thought about this today. Iron Man 3, although it did have its ups and downs, was the weakest of the bunch. That entire movie centered around him talking in the past to a therapist about everything that was going on. The therapist was Bruce Banner. And I thought that reveal made it fun at the end of it. He's like, I'm not really a therapist here. And I think that was what made it fun because that key jangle was still new. Now every single movie has to have some kind of a cameo in there. Obi-Wan had the Qui-Gon Jinn at the very end of it. Mandalorian was in Boba Fett. Luke Skywalker was in Boba Fett and Mandalorian. Their jangling of keys for everything has gotten stale now. And with the Marvels, there is, I believe, a couple more dangling of keys. But again, there's no intrigue, curiosity, or excitement for what could be because you're just like, okay, it's another Marvel movie. How many have we had now?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Fair.
that's what made Avengers so good, because you had all of the siege angles in one group. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox.
No, and he's right because of the fact that just like with me, I am expecting the Marvels to do well, but realistically, because of Disney's history, it's like, yo, do we have trust in Disney at this point?
No.
Yeah, Marvel is one thing. Disney is something else. And mind you, we all know how much I stand Disney, but we also know how much I criticize Disney.
Yeah.
And the simple fact that you've got pretty much your last MCU movie that you know is slated, and then a week and a half later, you're coming out with like your 100th animated film
Mm-hmm.
in Wish. So already right there, you are cannibalizing whatever audience you have set up for Marvels with another Disney thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in tow with it being right across from another animated film, which I think is probably going to do better than the Disney film.
Sure.
So it's like they're really just trying to push out whatever they can in theaters, when really, I hate to say it, some of the stuff really should just be streaming.
Yeah. This is the local breakdown inside the U.S. at the box office for all the movies that have basically been released in the last, we'll say, the last year. You know, that's like it brought
Pretty
what's
makes
that?
sense.
$1.3 billion domestic. You know, Avengers Endgame did better than that domestic.
Little Mermaid, that was a disappointment.
Yeah.
And then disappointment, expected disappointment,
Haunted Mansion, you mean?
disappointment, one up to Chadwick Boseman. Um, Hocus Pocus, I mean, I know that in Nightmare Before Christmas, that was just put out recently.
I'm getting another free pass, but you know, Guardians 3, you know, Little Mermaid was under 300 million local.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you just see that real sharp drop off with after Little Mermaid, the tickets sold.
Yeah.
The 16, the 20, and then Haunted Mansion only got 6.
Yeah.
Black Panther, Wakanda, I know it was like a little bit dated from like, last year into this year, but
Yeah, like I said, that's box office for 2023. So you get a little bit of a small
yeah.
pass on Wakanda Forever. This is purely box office numbers here. But even then, I mean, look at Dial of Destiny. I mean, that's 174, only 16.5 million tickets sold in the US for a $300 million movie. You know, so so the Marvels has to go up with that reputation now. And that's why it's not going to work.
And this is just stuff that's strictly Disney. This isn't even accounting for anything that Disney's put out from its Fox properties.
Right.
Or even for that matter, the stuff that basically the superhero movies in general, like Blue Beetle. You know, this is just lack of trust in the entire product.
Because I'm going to say this. Disney lost its magic.
Yeah.
I said that last year when I went to the damn place.
I know, dude. You crushed my childhood when you're like, I went to Disney World. I wish I hadn't.
When you said that, that was like, wow.
It was like a dagger in the heart, man.
But now,
you
now
can always wonder whether or not Disney was focusing less on the aspect of the parks, which has always been their bread and butter. That was their bread and butter before films were. You could say maybe they took like, a back seat to movies and television because that was more profitable in the streaming age. But a year now later, you see that everything's pretty much taken a back seat to what it was.
Yeah.
right.
Not just the parks, not just movies, not just television. The only good thing I've seen from Disney lately is that Once Upon a Studio, where they're honoring the Roy E. Disney Animation Studio.
Roy, not Walt, by the way.
Yeah, that says Roy E. Disney, but
I mean, you look at what's on the horizon. I mean, look at the backlash Snow White has had, and and Rachel Zegler putting herself into hot water with all of that. You look at some of the stuff there where you're just like, I just don't care. I'll watch other stuff somewhere else.
And it's really sad because Disney had a lot of potential,
Mhm.
and they could have changed the whole process of what Disney is all about in a positive manner, because they were we're focusing on the kids. It's all
Mhm.
about PG, PG, and PG-13. But when they bought the Marvel cinematic universe, it was like, okay, we see hope. And then it's like, no, we want to keep it the same way that we've been doing everything. But the thing about it is you got to break away from that stuff sometimes. You can't just say, oh, we got a Marvel universe and we're not going to push the darker side of Marvel. We're going to make the darker side comical. No, you
Yeah,
can't.
which is where I'm concerned about Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
Now it's PG-13.
There's
And
my
Deadpool, the magic of Deadpool,
there's my
is not just
Vacation
go
Club
off.
members pin. There's my Donald pin. There's my old school Walt Disney Studios before they rebranded pin. My Dodger from Oliver and Company.
Nice.
Um, my Devilishly Handsome with Hades there, followed by a Devil Donald, which has the Angel Donald on the other side,
Mhm.
and my Oliver, and my 50th anniversary with the Ducks,
Mhm.
and another Donald. Why doesn't Donald have a movie? God damn it! You know what?
You know what? Tony Alsalmo has been doing that voice for so long. He deserves a movie by himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
just Daniel Ross. Get him to do it. He was doing it for the kitty era stuff, but
Well, I don't know. Tony Alsalmo's the voice I remember for like the 90s onward, like from DuckTales.
Tony Alsama, he still does it every so often. But Daniel Ross is like the youngest person that they had doing it.
Hmm.
And I agree with you, Kyle.
The voice of
Like what you just said. And
Lucky Charms on.
sorry, Kyle. I mean, sorry.
Sorry, some guy.
Sorry, Ryan.
Sorry, insert guy here.
No, but it's just the fact that Disney gotta pull something out of they. I hate to say that arse.
Ours.
Ours.
And it's
Well,
just
I think part of the problem is the Marvel movies now are advertisements more than anything else. You're paying to get an advertisement for like the next product. And that's where initially it was kind of neat where, you see Iron Man and then it's like, okay, well, Nick Fury's there, intrigue. And then Thor, and there's Nick Fury and Coulson. It builds into like the next thing. But now after 30 some movies, you go into this, they're going to advertise the next product. And I think if you're going to drop $20, you don't want to drop $20 on the next, whatever that is, to watch a commercial.
right.
They've become less singular movies and more installments.
Yeah. And even this one, like I said, you have 3 different franchises. You got to know to watch that thing.
Yeah, it might as well be DLC at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, Final Fantasy 16, Well, it's funny because also, remember Final Fantasy 15 had that side quest for like Nissan cup noodles. That very, very clear product placement where, you're asked like, to make the good kind of perfect kind of Nissan cup noodle, you need the best kind of ingredients out there. Tell me what kind of ingredients do you like in your cup noodle? And it was like this entire side quest, to get better items if you actually just basically advertise the product. It was insane. It really pissed me off.
All I know is I'll still go see Marvels.
I'm probably going to still see it still.
There are other movies next month that I am more excited for.
And possibly with Academy Award winners?
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, okay, this is obviously Ridley Scott going for the Oscars. This is basically French Gladiator. Even Rob couldn't say anything about
that was me. I kicked him out there because the audio.
When it comes to like period pieces like this, you've always got to wonder if like the casting was right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I wouldn't have picked Joaquin Phoenix to play Napoleon.
So,
And,
just one more callback to the last bit there.
yes.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
The
guy from Science.
Again, Ridley Scott's going to go ahead and bring out everything he can. He's basically like Scorsese in that sense, where this is a passion project of his, and he is going to do it up as big as he wants to. He's probably going to focus more on like the war aspect of Napoleon's reign rather than so much his interpersonal. Even though we do see him with Vanessa Kirby and
Mhm.
being a lover, which I'm sorry, I can't see Joaquin Phoenix as a lover in any way, shape, or form. He was Iggy enough in Joker, and now knowing that he's going to have Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, that's just ah.
Well,
But
it's funny because this movie centers around her perspective of him,
yes,
which I'm
that's
kind
going to
of
be what interests me about the film. The fact
Mhm.
that this isn't necessarily like Napoleon talking about himself, it's someone else talking about him. So the pompousness, the egotism, the things that come from the Napoleon cliche that we've
Mhm.
seen, whether it's crazy people thinking that they're Napoleon, whether it's Napoleon in
Let me hit this one first.
an adventure,
Mhm.
any characterization we've seen of him is going to be a little bit more pumped up because it's someone else's opinion.
Mhm.
There's an internal conversation about the MCU being concentrated,
Mhm.
but
Now, Kyle, be nice to Mwamba.
I mean, here's the thing: Joaquin Phoenix is bankable. You know full well. I mean, even before Joker, he had cred, he had respect, and you know, he had it. So
Right.
you know what you're getting into with this. This one is at 130 million. So you're looking at 250 or 260, maybe 300 to hit the numbers. And I think it can do it. I think it can make it.
How long of a movie, though?
238.
Oh, that's decent.
That's decent. Yeah.
I mean that's the sizable epic you would expect from a Ridley Scott film, who, like you said, is very similar to Scorsese, where it's like budget and box office doesn't matter. It's art.
Right. It's just obviously this is something that's being put out for award season, which we're going to see a lot more of that in the next month or two.
Right.
But is it going to do well enough to actually make money at the box office? I don't know if this is going to be like an Oppenheimer sort of situation where it's going to exceed expectations. Simply because for the time that it's coming out, which is going to be around Thanksgiving, you're going to have a lot of other projects that are out in theaters that are going to be a little bit more seasonal slash family friendly, which may take attention away.
Is you talking about what I'm thinking about?
I
What's
mean,
that?
there's a couple of things I could be thinking about, so I'm not sure, but
Besides cutting a turkey, we're cutting humans.
oh yeah, no, dude, I've been looking forward to that one.
So, audience, we're referring to as the movie Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, which started off as a little teaser in the Grindhouse cinematic experience with Robert Rodriguez's Planet Terror and Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof. They had the trailers coming in, and Eli Roth made a trailer for that, which is now finally being made into a full-fledged film.
Yes.
In fact, even using certain scenes or clips from that trailer in the promotional trailers for this current film. Whether or not they're the same ones or they've just simply been updated, I don't know. But that scene with the trampoline and the girl, ouch.
Yeah. That's like, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, and it looks like it has a decent enough cast.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, McDreamy, whatever you think of, what is it, Patrick Dempsey?
Mhm.
Uh, he's a good hand. I mean, it's going to be mostly like television actors, not really film actors, because that's what you usually get for like a horror.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, all the jokes that people have made about, oh well, there's going to. I mean, we've already had like Christmas horror movies, and we've had Easter horror movies, and we've had Fourth of
We had
July
an Easter,
horror
wait,
movies.
wait, wait, pause. We had an Easter horror movie?
Yeah, it was called Beaster Day. It was about a big giant rabbit killing people.
Oh, then I ain't
Mm-hmm.
It
Gary Anthony Williams right there, by the way.
was
Don't,
filmed in
please,
Jersey.
please
I've
don't
seen it.
take that as a hint to start talking that way. No.
But yeah, when you have stuff like that
You know
or
what we're talking about?
family-friendly
Check the
stuff,
channel.
something like Napoleon, can tend to be lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we already just saw probably Scorsese give Leonardo DiCaprio like his best acting role ever in Killers of the Flower Moon, and that just barely made second place behind Taylor Swift. And
Mhm.
Taylor Swift only netted about 33 million, so it wasn't even like that big of a box office weekend compared to the first one. So it's one of those things where I think only like true theater auteurs, true cinema cinephiles will go ahead and check out Napoleon. But as far as people getting together for the holidays, I don't see that one being the one that brings them in.
Hmm. I don't know.
I
I
don't.
I think it will do okay, but again, like Kills the Flower Moon, I don't think it's going to matter much either.
Right.
So
But yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
it'll definitely break even, but it's not going to happen on its first weekend.
Oh yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this weekend we got Five Nights at Freddy's.
yes,
Yeah.
Now
Two-
that's the movie that everybody's anticipating.
yes, we talked about that one.
Yes. And again, with Thanksgiving, actually having like a horror movie for that holiday, that's just like clinching that little soft spot for everyone in the movies, because otherwise it's all going to be like family friendly or mopesy drama sort of stuff like Priscilla or whatever that one with Megan Ryan comes out.
Mhm.
And you know that's the weird thing about award season. Now that we're getting into it, award season now, I think after the last couple of years with the Oscars and the last couple of years with movies, we've just seen like Oscar fare doesn't necessarily appeal to the masses.
Excuse me.
I mean, yeah, Barbie and Oppenheimer will go ahead and probably get nods next year at the awards,
Mhm.
but that's because they were both like a cinematic to do. Like if you were going to go to the movies, that's what you needed to go and see.
Right.
No one's clamoring for Napoleon. No one, unless you get a bunch of crazy people to go ahead and put on their tri-corner hats and put their hands like this and go to the theater like that. Like me and the boys leaving the Psycho Ward to go see Napoleon.
What the slide?
Yeah,
What the slide?
What is that?
I refuse to see the TikTok memes that come from that.
Oh yes. Actually, it's funny. I had Bill and Ted on the other day, and the the woman that played Joan of Arc in that movie,
Yes.
she's I think the lead singer of the Bangles, the one Vacation, all I ever wanted. That was actually her.
Oh yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
I didn't know that, but
Well, it was hard to tell considering she was quiet for most of the film.
mhm.
Oh no.
Wait, Tyler, why are you watching FNAF at home? Dude,
There's a
you
there,
want to
there's
be in
a
the theater where it's nice and dark and someone can come up from behind you and grab you.
And shank you.
Well, no,
anytime.
they're
Yeah,
not shaking.
no,
They're
no.
shaking.
You
Oh,
see my
God.
face?
Now yeah. Tell you what, I you know what? We're not touching that one. Or he just may wait it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What did I say? As Weird Al said, there's a torrent of options.
Yes.
Dude, let me tell you this. When I worked at a college years ago, there was one IP address that had about 50 times the traffic going through it as like every other IP address in the entire college. Coincidentally, it was actually operated by a kid who had a share like this. It's how I got into Arrested Development. But it's funny because it became so amazingly popular on campus that everybody would race to be the first one to upload for bragging rights. And this thing was just, he had to have fundraisers to actually, just to buy new hard drives because there were thousands of terabytes of information, movies, TV shows, and this was like pre-YouTube too. And weirdly enough, the kid worked for the department. He worked for the IT department with us, and we know exactly who it was. But we couldn't actually outright say anything because otherwise you're picking one specific student, then you got to watch everyone else. And the kid he just crushed it. I mean, I had Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, was on there before it was released in theaters. I don't know how it got in there, but I watched just enough of it to be like, okay, this is a new scene. I've never seen it before. It was C-3PO. It's like the Maker, and I'm like, okay, I'm not watching anymore. I don't want to ruin it. My God, he would get stuff, and it's like, dude, how? Because the entire campus would basically come together to be like, I got that up there before you did. You know,
Yeah, no, we may run into days where piracy comes into play again, but
I have no doubt, but it is not. But it is not this day.
well, no, with all the Best Buy stuff and everything, it's like certain movies are just going to get lost. So
You know, did
yeah,
we really talk about that
you
yet?
actually get to see a movie. Period.
Yeah. Did we ever talk about that? Blockbuster, I'm sorry, Best Buy
Best Buy.
top DVDs and Blu-ray.
Dude, I'm happy I got my collection. You know, I'm holding on to all that.
Same
You
here.
know, I mean, you knew it was going to happen eventually. That's just it. So,
But yeah, I mean, there are some movies that I don't think has made that I enjoyed that haven't even made it over to the jump to Blu-ray.
mhm.
So, whatever DVDs I have to treasure because who knows if they're ever going to get a Blu-ray release now. Certain collections I'd have to finish. I definitely have to finish up my Simpsons collection all the way up to season 20. Um, I need to find a copy of Space Invaders somewhere.
Wow.
Love that movie, and I never get to see it anymore.
Well, you and I talked about Dogma, how that was actually unavailable for DVD or release too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's for legal reasons because of
Yeah,
whatever.
I've got that movie somewhere around here too, but like
Hey,
the multi-disc set.
So
What's that?
if anybody ever wants to see Dogma, you can have my package of it. You know, it's like a 2-3 disc set, $50 rental.
Yeah, that was the one that had like 45 minutes of deleted scenes in it too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you saw how he did that with a straight face, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah, because God forbid if something happens to it or someone steals it, I need to make sure I have enough money to get another copy. So $50 rental. That's like an insurance policy.
That is true.
But yeah, I think basically there's going to be a massive rush because it eventually become retro. You know, just like
yeah,
33s and 67s
Ray
are.
just finally got put out on disc and everything when
Mhm.
normally it was just a streaming release on Hulu. There are some things that were just streaming releases that will never have a physical copy, and if the streaming system doesn't want to go ahead and show it up and pay residuals to the people that made that film, it will not be on the streaming. It will simply be lost. It'll be put in a vault for no one else to see unless some big wig is like, throw it out to the people. Give them a pittance.
Exactly. Willow, the Disney Plus series.
Oh God, yeah, no. Warwick Davis was upset about that.
Dude, well, I mean, he's barely, I mean, he was replaced by like strong British female character, much like Ray or,
You really, Robert? Oh, I'm sure he appreciates that.
well,
Oh,
Ming is in that movie too.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys at the strip club watching Selma Hayek strip.
Yeah.
I think that was Ming's first movie too.
Yeah.
So,
What a way to start.
dude, yeah. I talked to him last week because Kevin Smith has that new movie, 4:30 movie that came out. We're working on it right now.
Question. Y'all still talk to what's his name? The guy that runs Trauma?
Lloyd? Oh yeah.
Is it possible that I could have him autograph my Toxic Avenger?
We'll talk afterwards. I'll text him.
Definitely. Please.
I mean, to be fair, he's always up at pretty much any horror convention in Jersey, so you can always like bring it to him.
Uncle Lloydie was supposed to be at my wedding, but he was away on business. He sent him and his wife sent a really, really nice card and gift.
Yeah, and I'm sure
That would
Lloyd's
have
been
been great,
out
man.
like a little bit more lately, so that just promotions for the Toxic Avenger reboot.
Yeah,
he's gonna be going ahead and showing himself out.
You know, it was funny. Actually, Toxic Avenger was on Pluto the other day because when I was at the B&B out in Arizona, I watched a lot of Pluto. It's like, holy crap, a Toxic Avenger's here.
Yeah,
Nice.
So they doing a reboot of Toxic Avenger?
Yeah, they're doing a reboot of everything.
With Elijah Wood is playing the villain in it, and Peter Dinklage is playing Toxie.
And
It's just Lloyd being Lloyd,
I want to be in the movie.
It's already done.
Oh man.
Day. We'll talk afterwards. Find out what's going on next. Yeah.
But any other cash or trash you wanted to touch on, Scott?
I think no, it's really just the big two right now. As we get closer to Thanksgiving, we'll probably be talking a little bit more about some of the other movies coming out then. Although this could be argued, this is a Thanksgiving release though, but
yeah, I'll just throw this out as prediction. I think Trolls Band Together is going to do better than Disney's Wish.
Oh wow!
probably yeah.
Wow! And guess what, Ryan?
What?
I agree with you.
Okay.
he was holding on for like dramatic effect there.
It's like I was thinking. No, let's just let him say it.
He was like, "Wait, where you going to go with this? Where you going with this?"
By the way, we do have some Five Nights at Freddy content from when Rob and Austin were at Scarefest recently.
Nice.
So we're basically check to the channel because a lot of those interviews are going to be going up this week. I'm going to make sure starting tomorrow night. I'm going to edit the snot out of all
That's
that.
a big deal because Rob, like Scott, is not a horror person.
But you know what though? He knew that Five Nights at Freddy's coming out. He knew there was going to be something that was going to be big at this point. And I think his first line was like, "This is going to be perfect timing." So. So credit to Rob on that. Like I said, stay tuned to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/streampunkcinema. It's down at the bottom to set the interviews directly, Q&A and everything that he did on that. So,
but speaking of scare stuff,
yes.
That is scary.
Dude, you know what? Credit. You're getting better by the day with this stuff.
Yeah, I'm maybe a little bit too good about this. So
no,
yes,
dude, be proud of that.
Yeah.
So yes, for this week's Thrills and Chills for the month of October 2023. Yes, thank you, Kyle. I do what I can. We are talking all things spiritual. Spirits, ghosts, specters, phantasms. I will even go as far as to say, yes, even demons do count, considering demonic possession is a thing, and that is more of a spiritual thing than, say, some ghoul crawling out of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I just want to preface this by saying, I actually, over this weekend, watched the original Poltergeist in its entirety for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, I watched it with my mom because she had never seen it. And she was like, haven't you seen this before? It's like, I've seen clips, but I've never seen the full film.
I did. I seen the whole full film.
I can say, yeah, technology has come a long way as far as Poltergeist is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
That was obviously some puppetry tubes with some smoke effects.
Sorry.
And then when you look at some of the smoke that's writhing through the house and everything, so much like a cartoon.
But it's still, you know what? It's still pretty credit to the design.
Yeah.
That's slender.
Say when it comes to like ghosts, ghosts can be as simple as just like a child dressed in like a white dress or a nightgown, standing in the corner of the room, or some little Asian boy with like a creaking.
Sorry.
Or ghosts can be this elaborate skeletal structure here, where it's more horrific than it really should be because it's supposed to be from a person. So I don't know how it looks like that. And yeah, things like Ghostbusters have gone ahead and shown that ghost creativity can be very wide. They can all be relatively the same thing, but they can all look and appear different.
Ryan, can I stop you from right there?
Absolutely.
Rob, when you come back on this show, I'm going to hurt you so bad.
Now, hold on. No.
Ghost.
No, you missed what he posts. You missed what he posts.
I saw Ghost as his best film.
No, he's talking Ghost Faced.
Oh.
He's talking that one, I think. Oh, no, I'm sorry,
Ghost Faced does not count, Tyler.
Nah, that's a slasher.
Yeah, that'll be next week. No, we're talking strictly things of the paranormal. Whereas last week we were talking about like creatures that are probably a little bit more sci-fi in nature. Ghosts, spirits, all of that is definitely more of the proverbial never realm. You know, it's the plane beyond existence. That's why also religion plays a lot into ghost stories
Right.
because it's a matter of whether or not the spirit is stuck on earth or it passes on to the beyond, whether it be heaven, whether it be hell, whether it be purgatory, limbo, whatever. So it's always nice to have like that little twist to it because yeah, some of them could be like
I'm sorry, that is just pure nightmare fuel.
plain white tiled, plain white painted.
That'll go real well with that comment there, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Casper. Yeah, Casper, Ghost. Ghost movies don't necessarily need to be scary. It helps when you do have like the right spin on it. But ghosts are probably also some of the most benign characters in horror because they're more like funny or tortured or they're just trying to get someplace that they can't get to. Casper's great. Beetlejuice is better.
Yes. Way better.
I would say the way they describe the just Tim Burton's experience because with Tim Burton you've got Nightmare Before Christmas, you've got
Mhm.
Beetlejuice, you've got Frankenweenie, you've got so many things that deal with like death and the beyond. Corpse Bride, just his whole interpretation of where people go after they die is just like I love his creative
I got a
mind.
question. Was
And what do you
Spawn
mean which
count?
version of Casper? There's one Casper in the movie.
Yeah.
No, we're not talking straight to video Casper. We're not talking Casper from any kind of animated series. We're talking try to school with you know Devon Sawa look on him. Casper.
Mhm. What creature does Day relate to?
The one that's about to kick your behind.
Oh, okay.
But
Ghost
does
foot.
Spawn counts as a spirit entity?
Yeah.
Which one?
Spawn.
I'm gonna say no, simply because Spawn is probably more of a creature. He is basically his tore up, burnt away body with like ghost stuff around it. 13 Ghosts, great example. You know, you got a lot of like bloodthirsty ghosts. You got a lot of just looking how they died. That's also great. I would also say a ghost that a lot of people probably don't consider Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, as much as people want to go ahead and associate him with like the other slashers, Krueger is pretty much just a spirit that goes ahead and haunts your dreams. Doesn't now outright kill you, but he does pretty much take care of you in that specific.
That was not a good movie.
What?
Little Nicky.
It was comedy. It wasn't supposed to be taken
Yeah, so
serious.
was Monkey Bone with Brendan Fraser, but nobody talks about that one either.
Oh, Ghost Dad. Let's be real. Ghost
Oh no!
Actually, I have one for you guys. Technically a ghost movie.
Get out of my head!
Scraping at the door. Scraping at the door.
What's
Yeah,
that?
I'll go back to that.
Was it Drive?
Technically, Ghost Rider does count. He is possessed at the
Yes.
in that time.
And it's in the name,
Insidious
Ghost Rider.
franchise. And the Insidious franchise.
Right. Although here's where the drawing line comes in. So like Freddy Krueger, definitely a spirit, but I think it's also the way he kills that makes him more of a spirit. Because you compare it to something like Chucky, where basically he is like body hopping from doll to doll, so he is possessing those, but he doesn't have any supernatural powers or anything of a spiritual energy that he can use to kill people. Freddy does, and that's the thing with when it comes to like ghosts themselves. Ghosts usually have like some sort of like energy that they can work with. Freddy is like, the most prime example of that. Pretty much, the other version of that would be something like The Exorcist.
Mm-hmm.
Why should Spawn count? Why?
Right.
He's a guy who got burnt up, sent to hell, and then placed back in with his burnt body. If anything, he's possessing his burnt body. He's basically like a walking, talking zombie who just happens to have ectoplasm coming out of his body because that's what he was shot with.
We established Pennywise was an alien, though.
Yeah, Pennywise is
Pennywise is an alien. He is not a ghost.
But, you know, poltergeist, since obviously that's topical at this point.
See, I said
Yeah. Then you look at someone like Reagan, who was possessed by a demon.
Oh, he did say demons. Yeah, he did say demons. But...
Jason would be more of an undead.
Yeah.
Well,
not a spirit. Now his mother, on the other hand,
I wouldn't say Jason's. I mean, Jason eventually evolved into something supernatural, but then again, so did Michael Myers at some point too. But that's not their core concept. Their core concept is that they're just hard to kill, but they kill through humanic means.
Yes, so they're undead.
You know, through physical violence or through use of sharp objects.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't in good conscience use Jason.
Okay.
Because the way a spirit kills says more about it than just, you know, whether or not they're corporeal.
Right.
Now, yeah, take for example something like Exorcist. Now, that girl got tore up. Like crucifix to the gooch, tore up. All right. But the minute that spirit leaves her, all of it.
What? No. Well, that was happening. Sorry.
Cabin in the Woods? No.
No, it did have spirits.
It did have spirits, but the spirits weren't like the main antagonist.
Hmm.
If anything, it was more
the humans,
humanity, or a corporation at large.
Yeah.
If anything, that would actually play into slashers next week. Just because they just killed however they could kill, but they were mortal, they were human, they were simple. Do you guys have any like particular ghost movies that you like?
We've covered a fair bit of
spirit or possession or just the incorporeal form.
You know, it's weird. Ghost was brought up, but a lot of the movie Ghost was actually pretty creepy.
Yeah.
You know, the ending with, you know, the Mike Jitlove stuff that, you know, I mentioned that name because he was the guy that animated a lot of the hell sequences.
Right.
That wasn't bad. You know, like I said, it had a couple of moments in there, but
like they knew what they wanted to say about like the ghost world, but in the long run, it still was more of a romance.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, the ghost part was a backdrop, but you know, it is in the title, and you know, your number one call on the call sheet's is a dead guy. So,
when your number one scene is pretty much like, you know,
Evil Dead, the first one.
You know?
Yeah, Evil Dead. I would say Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would say Evil Dead as well, because the Deadites are pretty much just people that are inhabited by demonic spirit. I mean, it makes them do some messed up things. It's still possession. Pretty much anything possession, you could scream down to like it not really being like an entity unless it's like in somebody.
Right.
I'm going to pull one that you'll have to agree with, but may not have thought of.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
A much more benign version, but
yeah.
What is
Field of Dreams?
Sure. Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams, yeah.
Like I said, ghost movies don't necessarily need to be scary. I think in this same respect, you could also use Angels in the Outfield.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And they don't have to be demons. I said, and they don't have to be demons.
No, they don't.
How about we go to Peter Jackson? We go to Peter Jackson pre Lord of the Rings.
Oh, The Frighteners.
The Frighteners is a good movie, man. Way under the radar that movie was.
Dude, Jeffrey Combs in that film. Oh my god.
Dude, yeah, as Agent Dahmer's, I think was his name.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. You know, but for those that don't know, it was marketed badly because it was John Astin, Gomez Adams alongside Michael J. Fox in this witty comedy about, ghosts. And people went into it. It's like, Yeah, he has to stop a dead serial killer from killing more people to have a higher body count than another serial killer. And he
Right.
would kill them and then carve their names into the skull of the person. And it was like, yeah, that people weren't ready for that one,
Yeah.
especially not when like Michael J. Fox.
And then what was put in the trailers.
Yeah, it was one of those movies. The trailer did it absolute injustice, but it got notoriety and cred after Lord of the Rings because it's like it's Peter Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Now another one I will give you.
Spoilers, by the way, on that.
Yeah. But another series I will give you, and it makes sense when you think about it. Final Destination.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it may all seem just accidental and everything, but still, the idea is these people escaped death. So
Yeah.
the specter of death, Grim Reaper, whatever you want to call it, even though there may not be like a visual manifestation, it is basically death trying to get back what was lost to him every time.
Right.
So I mean, if you want to speak in like a super ethereal conscious sort of, if you really want to like get deep about it, that's where you want to go.
And death, you never see death. You never see the spirit of it. It just kills.
Unless it's a really cheap movie and you need to have something like that, like Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. And you get like
underappreciated movie, by the way.
Yeah.
You get a German sounding death.
Okay, technically, Ghost or Dream Sequence was what I would say more Dream Sequence, not really Ghost.
Wait a minute.
The Michael Biehn cameo.
Yeah,
More
no.
Dream Sequence.
Things that are thought up in dreams aren't necessarily real unless it is Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can't really placate like, someone showing up in a cameo in a dream sequence as being a ghost. It's pretty much just more of like and more of an imaginary friend.
Right.
And if that's the case, then we'd have to count Drop Dead Fred as a ghost.
Oh God.
Oh no. Jeepers Creepers.
Oh no.
No, Jeepers Creepers would be a creature.
No. There's a cameo scene of one of the characters that died in the first one. His spirit comes in to warn other people.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess if you wanted to read into that, that could count. It's again, it's more of like, did they imagine it or did they really have
How
that
could they
visitation?
imagine if they never met the kid?
Or they just can't remember if they ever met the kid.
Huh?
Or maybe they just can't remember it. You don't know.
Well, they never met him because this was during the field trip to a football game. And
Passing by. Could have been like young Peter Parker meeting Iron Man and Iron Man 2.
Make excuse. Stop. It was. Spirit Away.
Yeah.
Spirited Away definitely does. I would say doesn't Howl's Moving Castle have some?
There you go.
Yeah. No. Pretty much.
Wait. I got something. Who framed Roger Rabbit?
There's ghosts in there?
Yeah. The Weasels die and the spirit ascend.
In the end of it, okay.
Yeah.
There was ghosts briefly, yeah. Yeah, because basically we had during the dance number.
Yep.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, not every tune has that happen.
But they died laughing, and then the ghost. I think
that was the case. There would have been a little angel from that poor little red shoe when it got dipped.
Mm.
But there wasn't.
But they died laughing.
Right.
Yeah, most people forget that was Christopher Lloyd in that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like Miyazaki, I mean, Japan alone, their whole concept of yokai, which is their term for ghosts and spirits, it's so much more varied than anything we have here in America. It's like there are just so many different ghost stories and different creatures and different things that like are just spirits in some way that we never get to see. It's like Oni alone are just so cool. Yep. No yokai watch, Kyle. No kid toy Pokemon bullshit. No, none of that. Don't even start. But any others from you guys?
I think I'm good at this point. I got nothing.
I got nothing either.
Anything else from the chat?
I don't think we got. Oh, hang on a sec. There we go. So, a couple of things still popping in here.
Oh, Ghost
Oh,
type.
not that one.
I mean, again, anything any possession movie could be like a ghost story. Goosebumps, to some extent, could probably be a ghost story.
Oh, wait, I got something.
So do I.
What?
You go first. I got to type this one up.
Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that really a ghost, or is that just a term they use?
It's a ghost.
It actually is a spirit of a dead person, and not just like an artificial intelligence sort of thing.
A spirit of a dead person that's in artificial intelligence.
I don't know. The minute technology gets involved, it becomes a little tricky, because then it's like, what was that one Johnny Depp movie where it's like he downloaded his consciousness and he just started infecting everything?
Oh, you talking about Lawnmower Man?
No, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp did that.
I don't know.
Okay.
Like some movie around like the early 2010s. I forget the name of it. It started with a T. But yeah, once technology becomes into play, it becomes a little bit more suspect as to whether or not it's actually a spiritual thing, or if it's just like AI, like we're dealing with nowadays. If it's just artificial and not really like the person, but it just seems like the person. Whereas a ghost itself, I would say, definitely goes ahead and has the spirit, the heart, the embodiment of the person that was living. It isn't just a carbon copy or like a duplicate file, but it actually has a little bit more presence.
Ooh, you just said one.
Which one?
Carbon, not carbon copy, but it was carbon, it was on Netflix.
Oh,
Echo Carbon?
Yeah.
I've got a dumb one.
I'm loving dumb ones.
Name it.
Big Bad Beetleborgs.
There you go, sir.
Oh,
You don't get much dumber than that one.
Yeah.
Ghost Jay
Yeah,
Leno
no,
in an
Forever
American
with Ghost.
Sentai.
With a whole haunted house of other monsters.
Yes.
And their
Big
favorite time was
Bad Beetleborgs.
Oh God, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wolf and the mummy and the Dracula.
Yeah, the ghost was named Flabber.
Yes.
Wait, who played that ghost?
I'm literally pulling that up right now. This guy's
I
actor's
think
name is
that-
Billy Forrester.
I thought it was.
He did there was 89 episodes of Beetleborgs. Oh my god.
Between both seasons, yes.
Wow. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not that hard. You just take over the Japanese footage, but still, you had 89 episodes where he was. Oh, and basically, there was a Flabber TV series too. Holy crap!
Yeah.
Wow. They tried to do a spin-off. They tried to do a spin-off.
I mean, if you want to get into television, then you've got like the real Ghostbusters and then Filmation's Ghostbusters with the
Which,
gorilla.
by the way, was a spin-off of the original Ghostbusters, by the way, with Forrest Tucker and Larry Storch.
Yes.
The real Ghostbusters were actually the not real Ghostbusters, because it was the spin-off series of a movie that took the name of an original series in 1975.
Yes. You're right, Kyle.
So wait, you're saying that Robert is the ghost of Zombie from Pee-wee's Playhouse?
Hey, Zombie.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, they look similar, yes, with the blue skin and everything.
No, we're not mentioning Dragon Ball Z in the afterlife.
No.
Or
Death Note, yes. Bleach, yes.
Oh yeah. Shimigami's. No, am I saying that right?
I never saw Bleach or Death Note. No.
Yeah, Bleach, yes. Death Note, yes.
Yeah. I know the Serete is just like the area where they all hang out, but yes. Hollows and all that sort of stuff. Death Note, yeah, because I guess you could consider the creature more of an angel.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is an angel of death. And let me ask you this. If there's a movie, since we're talking how religion does play into ghosts and spirits, if there's a movie that shows us a
Fine.
personification of God, does that count?
No, because God's more ethereal than less ghost. Because they are open up into interpretation of what God is. Now, listen, I can debate theology all day long, but
Right, but if we're counting like demons and angels, especially whether they're corporeal or if they possess somebody, if you have a God, which is like the highest of all angels, does that count?
no, because in this case, my belief, you can't guarantee that God is a ghost or that angels aren't, because angels were not created that way.
Right.
You know.
Hmm.
Now, you could make the argument possibly that Gandalf was a ghost after he became Gandalf the White, because he did die,
Yes. To be
and
fair.
then he leveled up.
Yeah, that's more of like a resurrection.
Oh wait, I know, Anakin Skywalker, because he was in the world between worlds.
Well, no, to be fair,
Dangle the keys, dangle the key.
no. To be fair, in Star Wars, there are
The
ghosts.
bad place, yeah. Okay, the good place and the bad
Certainly
place.
are, incorporeal forms of the spirits of those Jedi Masters. So I mean, yeah, these would count.
I am.
And by the way, Kyle, I think you're thinking angels and demons, but that's not really like a ghost story. That's one of those Da Vinci Code Tom Hanks films.
Force, yeah, it is a Force ghost, so therefore it is a ghost. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Good Omens. That's the angels and demons, certainly.
David Tennant too, and Michael Sheen.
Yes, Michael Sheen,
You know
David
what's funny?
Tennant.
Michael Sheen had a TV show for a couple of years. The Good Son or something, where he was in Anthony. What's that?
Prodigal Son.
Prodigal Son. Sorry, where he was an Anthony Hopkins like Hannibal Lecter type.
Yeah.
It was interesting because I remember doing a few days on that, and it was funny because he spoke with a perfect American accent all the time until he flubbed a line, and then he flipped back into native British every single time. And you'd hear him get that that British pissed off thing, but otherwise you'd forget and you get lulled into an American accent. But it was just so natural when he's like, "Oh fucking bollocks!"
Oh yeah, no. When you've seen enough videos of like him and David Tennant going back and forth
Yeah.
with each other during a Zoom, oh, it's
Dude, I was hoping David Tennant would just randomly just crash the set because he was doing like Jessica Jones at the time, and I would be like, "Oh, dude, I want to see him show up."
No, I think Prodigal Son came out quite some time after Jessica Jones.
No, they're about the same time. I know because I did one and then the other. Because I stood in on Jessica. I stood in on Jessica Jones.
Second or third season Jessica Jones, like a cameo sort of thing, but
Possibly, but yeah, because I stood in on Jessica Jones at the same time I was doing Prodigal Son.
Yeah.
And I found out exactly how Disney operates when you're a stand-in. They don't give you crap. Yeah. DC, again, I've mentioned it before, is like, here's the entire script for the next 7 episodes. Go ahead. Meanwhile, Marvel is like, here's the 3 words that you have. We want them back later. You're signing out for them.
But okay. Any other ghosts that you
I
guys
think not.
think of?
Yeah, that's it.
The ghost with the least. Yeah, no, I think we're good.
All right.
So,
But yes, in summation, ghost stories, ghost movies are probably some of the most varied that you can get. Some are horrific, some will shake you, like Hereditary, The Conjuring, stuff of that nature. But then, yeah, you have Casper or Flubber from Big Bad Billboard.
pull that out of the archives.
Personally, my favorite spirit, Jack Daniels. But
Good. Nobody's beating that one. Thank you.
Yeah.
yes, that's a whole different kind of sheen. No movie required. Just the one in your head.
All right, Day, you want to take us out?
Pretty much. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the show. I'm Day.
Who was here in spirit.
That is Scott. That's Ryan. And Rob is somewhere in the void. Well, we tried to bring him back. And we are Tales from the Film Set. And we're out of here.